To the Monday, April 27th meeting of the Lincoln City Council at 5:30 p.m. As you can tell, we are video conferencing again this week. We know that this week is also very critical, and we have seen additional cases of positive cases spring up that are truly continue to be alarming for many of us. We're video conferencing because this is something that our governor has issued Executive Order 20-03, has authorized a limited waiver during this declaration of emergency that permits all public bodies in the state to meet by video conferencing, telephone conference call, and other telecommunication applications so long as access to the meeting is provided to members of the public and media. Each of my colleagues that is on video conferencing has a copy of the Open Meetings Act with them. And as you know, we have an Open Meetings Act posted at the inside the chamber. Now, this is a decision that we did not take lightly, and that the majority of the city council members voted to do video conferencing during these critical weeks, to do everything we can to protect our families, our staff. The governor's encouraged everyone, please just do the right thing, and in doing our part, however big or small, to make sure that we protect the public, we protect our staff, and that we protect our families. Now, for those that might be out there watching already, you know that you can watch the proceedings live on youtube.com/LNKTV City or on facebook.com/LNKTV City as well. And as always, we invite your comments online to councilpacket@lincoln.ne.gov. And I want to thank everyone who is participating. I know that we all feel very strongly that we want to continue to do our jobs. We want to continue to provide our service to the city, because even though this is not business as usual, but we want to keep business moving forward. So let us go to work. Let's do our jobs as elected officials by doing our part. And I ask my colleagues if they could please to mute their microphones, because we're going to all stand, and you can see the United States flag in Sandra's viewpoint, and we're going to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll follow that by a moment of silent meditation. So please, everyone, stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you again. As you know, we have invited the public to participate if they feel comfortable in doing so, and we've put additional safeguards in place to protect them. We ask those, if anyone is planning to testify, to remain in the adjacent Luxford studio until your item of business is called. We ask that you approach the podium with the laptop that you see there and provide your testimony, not to exceed 5 minutes per speaker on your item. Once you provide your testimony, we ask you to exit the chamber through the door to your immediate left. So in accordance with LB 898, a copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted at the back of the chamber. The order of the business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda under public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on an item should come forward. Testimony again is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. After all the public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third reading. Normally, on the second and last meetings of the month immediately prior to adjournment, anyone may speak on any issue not on the agenda for that date, nor planned for a future agenda. But because of the state of emergency and for the protection of the public, we ask that you email your concerns again to councilpacket@lincoln.ne.gov. And Sony, I think we're ready to go on for the first item of business.
Okay. Our first item of business is our public hearing consent agenda, items 1 through 3.
Okay, is there anyone in Luxford studio or in the chamber that would like to testify on any of these items on the consent agenda? I'm looking at my little screen and I don't see anyone approaching the microphone, and the chamber is empty. So I guess we can go ahead and vote on the specific ones we can.
Okay, we can vote on these items. It would be items 1A through 1F, introduced by Washington.
Items one, okay, is introduced by Washington, and is there a second?
Second.
Introduced by Washington, seconded by Ward. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. Our next item of business would then go to item 4, ordinances third reading and related resolutions. Item 4A is an ordinance adopting the supplements to the Lincoln Municipal Code dated June 2019 and December 2019 as part of the official Lincoln Municipal Code, introduced by Show.
Tammy, do you want to take that?
Go ahead.
I'll introduce for show.
And is there a second? Introduced by Washington and seconded by Bowers. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. Item 4B is the text amendment 20001, application of Jonathan Henning and Catherine Duncan to amend Lincoln Municipal Code Section 27.72.120 entitled Height and Lot Regulations for Accessory Buildings to remove the condition that accessory buildings with a conditioned area shall be no taller than the main building on the same lot, introduced by Show.
I'll introduce.
Okay, introduced by Washington. Is there a second?
Second.
Introduced by Washington, seconded by Ward. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. Items 4C is the text amendment 20002, application of Dave and Jolene Queen to amend chapter 27.02, definitions by amending the definition of campgrounds in section 27.02.040. C, campgrounds to include additional descriptive terms by amending the definition of recreational vehicle in section 27.02.190. R, recreational vehicle to remove length, width, and height restrictions, and by amending section 27.63.270, campgrounds to alter the conditions required for campgrounds as a special permitted use, introduced by Shob.
I'll introduce.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Introduced by Washington and seconded by Bowers. I believe we have an amendment.
We do have a motion to amend.
I will move to amend.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion to amend by Washington, seconded by Ward. And Sandra, do you want to tell us a little bit about this motion to amend?
Yes, I worked with the law department, legal department, and with Parks and Rec to clarify a couple of items on both this and the next item having to do with the campaway campground. On this one, it was to clarify the length of time that people could stay at the campaway or at any campground in the city of Lincoln. And there's two different categories. There's short-term people who stay anywhere between 1 to 31 days, and then there are folks who can stay in certain spaces up to 180 days. And there needed to be some clarification about the time frames and whether that was consecutive days in a row or cumulative.
Okay, thank you very much. And I know David Carey is on Zoom with us. Does anyone have any questions of David Carey, our planning director, on this item? Okay, I think we're good. Is there any other discussion on this motion to amend? Okay, I think we can go ahead and vote.
Voting on the motion to amend, Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0.
Okay, and now on the main motion.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. Our next item is item 4D. It's addendum number 1 to amended lease between City and Queenland Inc., operators of Campaway Campground, to extend the term of the lease, add a termination for convenience provisions, reset the annual rental rate, and update other lease provisions. Introduced by Schoen.
I'll introduce.
Okay, Washington, is there a second?
I'll second.
Introduced by Washington, seconded by Bowers, and I believe this also has a motion to amend.
Yes, and I can move that amendment.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion to amend by
Um,
Washington, seconded by Bowers. Okay, discussion.
Those amendments or changes to the lease are reference the same things I just discussed on the earlier item, and then some other miscellaneous language cleanup.
Okay, terrific. Does anyone have any questions of David Carey, or does anyone have anything else they would like to discuss on this item? Okay, I think we can go ahead and call the roll on this motion to amend number 1.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0.
Okay, and now on the main motion.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. Next item would be item 4E, annexation 20005, application of NEPCO Inc. to annex approximately 34.89 acres of property generally located at Northwest 12th Street and Astor Road, introduced by Show.
I will move.
Okay, moved by Ward. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Introduced by Ward and seconded by Washington. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. Our next item would be item 4F, change of zone 05085C, application of NEPCO Inc. for a change from AG Agriculture to R3 Residential Planned Unit Development on property generally located at Northwest 12th Street and Astor Road, introduced by Shob.
So moved.
Introduced by Ward. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Introduced by Ward, seconded by Bowers. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Rabel,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. That concludes our ordinances third reading and related resolutions. Next would be resolutions first reading, which is items 5A, and ordinances first readings and related resolutions, which is items 6A through 6B. As a reminder, pending list date certain, item 7A will be removed and will have action in 2 weeks, which would be the May 4th City Council meeting. And then we also have items 8, which is our pending list. On our pending list, we do have a request from our applicant on items 8F and 8G to be removed from the pending list and put on our agenda for action on May 4th of 2020.
Is there someone that would like to move that items 8F and 8G be removed from pending?
I would move that we move items 8G off our pending no date certain list to take action on next week.
On Monday, May 4th. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Washington. And any discussion on this item? Okay, then Tony, you can call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0. That's everything that we have on our agenda.
Okay, is there someone that would like to make the motion to adjourn? We can stay here all night.
I'll move adjournment.
Okay, is there
Second.
a second? Washington moved to adjourn, seconded by Ward. Please call the roll, Sony.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes,
and Ward.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your time and attention in this very speedy meeting. And then we'll see everyone in the City Council chamber next Monday, May 4th. So everyone stay well, stay healthy, do everything you can to protect our community and keep everyone safer. We are adjourned.